Have you ever loved an animated movie so much, and then had that realisation that the rest of the world just doesn't seem to feel it? Yeah, same. What's that about? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at some of the best animated movies that just don't seem to get the love they deserve. For this list, we're sticking with movies that are at least mainly hand-drawn. Some are a bit old, some are even older, but all are definitely worth a watch. So let's take a look. First up is Fern Gully. This is the story of Krista, a fairy who lives in a rainforest and doesn't know much about humans or the outside world. But when a logging company turns up and threatens her home, she accidentally shrinks one of the humans named Zack. At his new size, Zack starts to realise the damage that his company is doing, and wants to help Krista save the forest from them and also an evil villain named Hexus who feeds off pollution. This movie has gorgeous animation and an incredible group of voice actors. There's some great humour, but also some hard-hitting messages about the state of the world and how important nature is, without getting too preachy. The movie does a great job of touching on dark themes while keeping a balance with friendship and hope. And with songs from Robin Williams and Tim Curry, you know you're onto a winner. Next on the list is Cats Don't Dance. Now, this is the movie I tend to get the most confused looks from people, as they really don't seem to have heard about it. Cats Don't Dance is set in 1939 and tells the story of Danny, a happy-go-lucky cat from a small town who travels to Hollywood to be an actor. When he arrives, he meets a host of characters, most of whom are feeling hopeless and downtrodden, as he soon realises how badly animals are viewed in showbiz. Undeterred by the warnings from his co-stars, Danny still wants to make it big. But in the process, unwittingly upsets Darla Dimple, a spoiled child star who then makes it her mission to make sure Danny never achieves his dreams. With amazing songs, some Looney Tunes-style comedy, and a wonderfully uplifting story, this movie is great fun all round, and I highly recommend a watch. Next up is The Flight of Dragons. Made in 1982, this is one of the oldest animations on the list, but that doesn't mean it's any less amazing. Set in a world of knights and dragons where magic is starting to fade, a green wizard is desperate to save his world. So travels 1,000 years into the future to bring back the descendant of a long line of heroes in the form of a writer named Peter. The unwitting hero must undertake a dangerous quest to take the red crown from the evil wizard Omadon and restore the lost magic. The artwork is classic of its time and gives such a mysterious and eerie feel to the movie. Is the animation a little janky in places? Yes. Is the story of a quest to save magic original? Not really. But, despite its flaws, this movie really shines with its character interactions, amazing soundtrack, and stellar voice cast, including James L. Jones. It's a real nostalgia trip and one of my absolute favourites. One of the lesser-known Disney classics, The Black Cauldron may not have fun songs or a handsome prince, but I genuinely think this movie deserves a lot more love than it gets. In the land of Prydain, pig herder Taran dreams of being a brave knight. And when the evil horned king kidnaps Henwin, a clairvoyant pig that has been entrusted to Taran, he might just get his chance. With help from an adorable little fluffball named Gurgi and a trapped princess... Okay, so it does have some Disney tropes. Taran must quest to find a magical cauldron of incredible power before the horned king is able to use it to summon an army of the undead. It's a little dark for Disney, but I think that's what makes it great. It's a really different type of story for the franchise, and you meet some wonderful characters throughout the movie. It's funny, it's emotional, and definitely worth checking out. Next on the list is another personal favourite, The Secret of Nim. This story sees a widowed mouse struggle to move her children to a new home before the local farmer ploughs the fields. She tries to enlist the help of a colony of intelligent rats who have been experimented on by humans. But in the end, she finds herself caught up in a conflict amongst the rats, and soon discovers she has a deeper connection to them than she realised. This is the first but not the last Don Bluth movie on the list, and for good reason. The animation is gorgeous, and the story weaves in such rich and complex characters. I'm a big fan of movies that respect their young audiences enough not to sugarcoat the darker topics, And this one has a great balance of some spooky themes mixed in with some brilliantly cute and funny scenes. Overall, it's a great all-rounder. Now, this is one I don't often see on lists like this, but it's such a fun movie. Most people have seen some version of the hero Sinbad, but with an all-star cast and a great mix of traditional and computer animation, this take on the classic is a real winner. The movie covers the story of the infamous pirate Sinbad, who travels the sea to recover the lost Book of Peace from the evil heiress in order to save his childhood friend Prince Proteus from certain death. And of course, swashbuckling escapades ensue. This movie tends to get mixed reviews on the whole, but it's really crisp and stylish animation, and although a little cheesy in places, I think it's such a great time and a perfect Sunday afternoon watch. The next movie on our list is loosely based on the true story of Balto, a half-wolf dog who led a sled team to retrieve diphtheria antitoxin for a small cut-off town in Alaska after an epidemic hits. Being a family animated movie though, this story comes with added drama, funny sidekicks, and of course a love story. There's some great camera shots in the animation, and the film has a real 90s nostalgic vibe. Plus, with another great voice cast, we also hear Bob Hoskins voicing a Russian goose. I mean, what more do you want from a movie? Next up is another Don Bluth animation, Thumbelina. Measuring only a couple of inches tall, Thumbelina worries she'll never meet anyone her own size. Until one night, she catches the eye of a fairy prince named Cornelius. But no sooner does she find love, she's kidnapped by the sneaky Mrs. Toad, who wants Thumbelina to marry her son. Thumbelina must then escape the wicked toads with the help of a host of crazy creatures along the way to find her prince and discover her place in this giant world. Most of us know the story of Thumbelina, but the added characters in this story are just wonderfully wacky and eccentric, and you fall in love with each and every one. It's a crazy ride with a bunch of fantastic songs, so if you've not seen it, get ready for a real treat. And now for something a little different. One of the more recently made movies on the list, although it was still 20 years ago. God, I'm old. Titan A.E. is another movie which combines traditional and computer animation. An action-packed sci-fi adventure, we follow Kale, a human teenager who has been given a mysterious map by his father after the Earth was destroyed by the Dredge, a mysterious alien race made from pure energy. With the help of a group of misfits, Kale must try to stay one step ahead of the Dredge and see if his father's map can help save the future of the human race. Mixing classic Don Bluth animation with some brilliant CGI, this movie is visually stunning and gives a real otherworldly feel. Another all-star cast, the characters in this movie are witty, intelligent, and have some brilliant dialogue. It's a fantastic story which takes the viewer on an exciting ride to the ends of space and back again. Absolutely worth a watch. Last on the list is one of my all-time favourite animated movies, The Last Unicorn. In this beautiful classic, evil King Haggard is plotting to capture every unicorn in the world and keep them for himself. But when a young unicorn learns she may very well be the last of her kind, she leaves the haven of her forest and embarks on a perilous journey to find the truth behind the missing unicorns. With a clumsy magician named Schmendrick and a sweet woman named Molly to help her, she soon overcomes the dangers of this quest and makes her way to the castle to confront King Haggard. This movie is wonderfully weird and fantastical, and at times has a feel of Alice in Wonderland or Lord of the Rings. The animation is beautiful and the soundtrack is extraordinary, and the two together really draw you into this magical world, which honestly has some of the very best characters I've ever seen in an animation. I absolutely fell in love with this movie, and I hope you do too. So there we have it, my favourite underrated animations. These movies may not be mainstream, but they pack a seriously entertaining punch. Let me know what your favourite animated movies are in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!